Man, they said he was doing too much with the atomic bomb when he was trying to rub the, track is where he used to go down. Did you run track?
I did not. I was not athletic.
Oh, track, that's how me and my wife fell in love during track season, man, as youngsters, man.
Oh, man, y'all rolling?
Yeah, we rolling. So
Did you do track?
No, I run the game, bro. I didn't have to run the track because I ran the game, bro. That's all, bro.
If your kids run track,
now
go to a couple of them track meets. That's the morning season. First of all, it's spring, right? Listen, it's spring. It's the most athletic boys and girls all over the state. So all you see, and everybody got on the least amount of clothes as possible so they could be fast.
Bro, Mac, this is how Mac, that's how he got that name fits him, bro. It's prophesied.
Dude, right now, no lie, me and my wife, we be like, track is on. We sit and watch track like we preheat on track.
Listen. Okay, so
hey, watch your kids in track season because somebody got to stretch. You stretch, girls.
Yeah.
Come help me stretch. You be down there, hey. And it means something on who stretch you. Like, you gonna stretch me? Why you letting her stretch you? I didn't see you. I just need a nigga to stretch. Yeah, that should be real.
Anywho, listen. Okay.
That goes
so welcome to the So What You Think podcast. And oh Lord, we start out so off topic, but we're actually gonna talk about right now.
It was on topic.
They let me smoke here, so it ain't no kind of what
he was talking about love.
We're talking about is love blind?
Okay.
And
no,
where I got the idea from is there is a Netflix show called Love Is Blind, and they do an experiment where they take 10 women, 10 men, and they have them they're in the same house. But what they do is they have dates in these little pods where you can't see the person you're talking to, and you do that for like 10 days, and that's how you are supposed to fall in love. And literally, the men, after a few days, some was like 6 days, some was like 8 days, they would propose to these women.
I can see that.
And so after that, and it was like, I believe 6 couples actually made it to that point. 6 pairings made it to that point. And so after you propose, you get to actually see the person that you have proposed to. That's your first interaction with them.
That's strong.
Then you go on a vacation with them initially. Out the gate, first thing you do is go on a vacation with them. That's what this black couple, it was the funniest shit.
What's this called?
Love is Blind.
Okay.
And so this black couple,
they got married at first sight too. It's kind of like that.
yeah, but the first black couple didn't make it because he came out and said that, in his past he dated both genders. And the sister was like, no, absolutely not. I know you ain't gonna want to suck no dick in a couple of weeks. So that didn't work out. So then after the vacation,
You're worried about the women and the men.
it's just a lot of pressure. And so then after
both genders.
after the vacation, they had to move in. They had to leave their residence and move into an apartment complex together. And it was just the craziest thing. And then it went down to 4 couples, and you would go to have an actual wedding after you've lived with each other for it was a 6 weeks project. You've lived with each other all this time. You would go to the altar and you could say, I do or I don't. Like, is love blind? Is it enough? 2 couples made it. A black woman married this white man named Cameron. I loved them. And then this man married this other woman. Amber married Barnett, which was odd to me because she had bad credit. She was so off from what he was, but he still married her. So that leads to is love blind? Like only 2 of the couples that got married.
But in that case, they didn't go completely off blind love. They actually went with. They made an emotional connection before they saw each other. So even though they called the show Love Is Blind, the way that played out is they made an emotional connection. That's like people getting catfished, where you're connecting with the words and the things people are saying. So it wasn't completely blind. I believe people can do that. I think if it depends on people's expectations on the chance of love happening. But if 2 people both walk in saying, look, I'm just willing to love you however you are, and I just want you to love me however I am. If that's how people start off, then they got a chance. Everything is what the expectation is. But if you already start in with, I'm not really worried about what they look like. I just want somebody that's cool. I'm willing to accept things. Like if you already go in with low expectations, I just want a good person, then that can work. But that's not how most people walk around dating. Most of us are saying, I want this, I want that, I want this, or this. So that's why people don't fall apart. So those couples have a chance because they're already going in as the kind of people
Right,
that are willing to love unconditionally, or at least they're willing to try to love unconditionally.
That's a beautiful thing.
But most people in the dating world aren't.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Do you think you could do that? So do you think you could be communicating with the individual, not see them for how long?
They didn't see each other for 10 days.
10 days.
In that time frame, you had to either choose up or move around.
Okay.
I think I could.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could get a connection with someone just by conversation. That's like back in the day when we used to talk over the phone with somebody who went to a different school. You didn't really
I fell in love with a few girls until
I did
seen
not.
this.
I did not.
That's
I never.
And then I seen them, was like, it went away. Soon as the door opened, like, But let me no lie. This one girl, she knew she was ugly too. Cause when she opened the door, she said, "You don't like me, do you?" And my face was like, so she put me on the defensive. So I'm like, no, you cute, you cute. So I hung out with her. Then afterwards, she was like, look, I know I ain't really that cute, but she was my phone buddy for a long time. Now I never went and fucked with her, but I talked to her on the phone for some weeks after that.
So she hit you with that Janet Jackson on Friday.
But when she showed up, she hit me with the I already know I'm ugly. Like, she didn't even try to fake. She was the door, but she's like,
But I don't see anything wrong with people having preferences in as far as physical preferences in who they date. I, for one, I prefer not to date husky men.
What's husky?
Thick. Big boys. I don't like. I'm not saying that they have to be slim.
Hey.
I just don't want them to have TNA.
Get mad when you exclude them.
It's nothing like
big dude.
Husky.
Look, big dudes be like, hell yeah, I'm a big boy. And they be proud until some girl be like, I don't like big niggas. They be like, fuck you then.
Because that's just my preference. I'm like,
you got every right.
I have every right, and like I don't prefer to date men of a lighter hue. I prefer a dark skinned man.
Really?
Because
Tori, I'm sorry.
Hey, look,
so she don't like big, a lot of you.
They booty crack be black.
Huh?
They booty crack be darker than the rest of them. Light skinned women.
Okay. Now when I watch Pornhub, I'm gonna be paying attention.
Why you crack dark?
Now
it ain't got no sun, but it's dark than it.
I don't think there's anything wrong. When I was like fresh out of high school, me and my homegirl went to meet some guys at OU, and the guy that she was meeting, she had already met, and they were introducing me to a guy, big, black, I'm like, I thought he was fine, but he literally looked at me and said, "Nah, I like my women light skinned and petite." I'm like, I am none of those things, clearly.
Well,
it hurt my feelings, but I'm like, in the long run, that's what he likes.
And that's
a question.
Because if he would have been a fat, light-skinned dude, I'd have been like, hell no.
And that's okay. And look, let me tell y'all, if somebody decides they don't like y'all, this is a quick change. Don't feel like that changes your value.
Right.
Just because one person or 10 people or 20 people don't like you. It only takes like really one person like to really to dig you.
Right.
And like I remember me and my partner Batman.
I got a great analogy for this too.
I got one too, but I'm gonna listen to yours and
okay, cool, perfect.
Me and my homeboy Bat, we used to
damn it, man.
I'm not getting Hey man.
And it fell down in slow motion too. It's like, damn it, man.
I'll get the
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, thank you.
That's why they be trying to recruit T now. You see that?
Look, me and the homie Batman, we used to write our number out like 20 times on a piece of paper.
You and that got hella stories, dog.
That was my roommate. That's my road dog. That's my brother, man. So we would get out, write numbers on a little piece of paper, 20 of them, and just pass them out. Hey, how you doing? My name is Mack. What's up? Holla at me. We come to my apartment at all. We were young. We had an apartment, so that was our thing. Come hang out with us. But I would write 20. I wasn't tripping. I really was only expecting like 4 or 5 to holler back. Them other 16 did not affect my spirit one bit. They didn't call me. Like, you can't think that affects your value, man. You gotta It's you. You only need the people who really like you. Like if somebody says they're not digging you, that is a blessing. That they move on like, oh, that's cool. Cause somebody out here like me, like, put a car for sale. No matter how raggedy it is, or a house. Somebody's in the market for that house. The house you living in, you moved into. You thought that was a nice house. Somebody probably lived in that house before and was like, I've outgrown this house. So they moved out, but it was perfect for you. The house I moved in 12 years ago was perfect. This was the house we always wanted. But it was some people moving out that was like, this some bullshit. We need better shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we was happy to move that.
Right.
Now we ready to move. But somebody else is gonna be like, oh, we like this house. And we might move into somebody else's shit that they feel like, this some bullshit, we better than. That house didn't never change value, man.
Nope.
That house still could sit there unoccupied, just waiting for the right person.
When we talking about love being blind,
That's my love message to y'all.
we talking about love being blind. So
If you're an ugly house, the market might be smaller.
Fam, so y'all mean to tell me y'all have never ran into anybody that deeply stimulated something in your soul that felt like I crave this on a human deep level, despite what they may look like?
Yep. But I was young and in like high school, and I didn't mess with them because I was like, it wasn't cool. You know, peer pressure was affecting me. I was the cool dude at school, and I liked this girl that. She wasn't
T.U?
She wasn't really the
I
type
can't
that
say
I
that
really
I,
wasn't supposed to be liking. So I didn't.
Have you been in love before? T.U? Like super love?
And super love? I don't even know what's super love.
Like head over heels, where a person like your whole world transitions, where you're willing to
She's a woman. She probably been there about.
No. When I look back on my
times.
dating and relationship
Twice.
experience, I can say that I have probably been in love to where I crave that person twice. And
What is that?
recently. It was recently too. Like my last two relationships were probably the ones that I would say that I was emotionally available to be. It wasn't about cheating, even though I did, but it wasn't about that.
What about you, Mac? Nigga, I've been pimping
He's
since
married.
nigga pimping
He's
since
married.
pimping.
He's married, so of course he gotta be in love.
I'm about to say only once, and I married her
How'd you know you was in love though?
because I was willing, like, to take her thoughts and feelings into account of my actions. I never really worried about nobody's, but I just be like, look, I actually never. This was my real thing. I thought how relationships work. From just watching, which is now, I think it's probably proven to be right. But I just watch people and I just be like, this was young. I'm like, man, everybody that I see be out just doing what the fuck they want to do when they ain't around their people. So that's why I never even asked no girl to be faithful. I mean, like, if you want to be faithful, that's
So
on you.
do you feel like if you had never, do you feel like if, say that you and 2Cs weren't at the same school or anything like that, and you just, all you did was talk to her on the phone, would you have fell in love with her the same way?
No, it took the whole package. She had to be cute too and all that shit.
I think
I think it's possible based on your expectations, but I couldn't have. She had to be fine. She had to be funny. Like all them things was all things
She had
that I
that
felt.
body and all
Yeah,
that.
those are all things that I felt. So those all matter.
The factors. Yeah, I
Especially
feel
where I
like,
was at in my life.
I feel like there's no way that you can have because everybody has to have a type. Like there's a type of thing that you like. There's a type of way you like to dress. There's a type of way you like to eat. I don't know. You have a preference in everything in life.
That's so strong.
So I know. Good Lord, what
I'm
is
trying to
that?
blow this way.
Nah, you good, bro. You got that. Woo. My analogy. Can I spit it?
Yes,
Go
spit
ahead.
your
All right,
analogy.
so let's say that your father hands you down 2 rings, all right? One is like, I don't know, princess cut diamond, 14 karat, and the other one is white diamond, right? And you have to go to a place and you go to a pawn shop and they offer you one price for one and another price for another one. He says, no, don't go to the pawn shop, go to the diamond store. You go to a diamond store and you offer and you show the person 2 different diamonds and the guy says, you know what, we want to offer you $10,000 for this one, but we want to offer you maybe a different price for this one. And so you say, okay, I want to sell this one, and you sell that diamond. Does it mean that the other one that he didn't buy is worth less than the other one?
No.
No, right? It doesn't mean that, right? So just because a person perceives something as one way being loved to them doesn't mean that you have less value. Just may be different purposes.
I'm saying there's some husky men out there that I know are probably
You
good
ain't
men.
got a shot. She gonna love you from a distance.
But that's gonna be
No,
another.
listen, that's not what I was gonna say, husky man.
She finna change.
No, I was gonna say I'm sure because I have husky men that are my friends. So I mean, their personalities are amazing. They're everything. I would never want to see them
Have
naked.
you ever been with a husky man before?
Yes, and I've seen them naked, and now it's not my preference. And y'all men be walking around naked like y'all fine bitches in the club. Like sometimes y'all just don't need to. Y'all need to put some clothes on, cover up,
Hey, listen.
cover up.
I'm gonna tell you.
It's just nasty.
Okay, she got.
Some of my husky homies got mad swag, bro.
Husky
Look at all
man.
this smoke. I'm just like,
It is. Sorry, I'm not gonna smoke through no more episodes. I got too carried away.
He was Lord like Snoop.
I apologize.
Mack Khalifa.
Y'all gonna let me do it? Why not? But I really feel like, man, love can be blind for a certain type of person. But sounds like we not them type of people.
we're not them type of people.
I feel like love can definitely be blind if people get beyond their expectations and get beyond the surface and really start to love people on that type of level. But
But it would have to be understood, like, look, you know I love you, right? But I don't think you pretty. Like, that's how we would have
And
to
that
be.
would lead to
No, but that would have to be
infidelity.
somebody who had to be, no, that would have to be somebody like, that's cool. I love you too, and I know I'm ugly. So,
let me ask this.
but if we couldn't have that conversation, like, look,
If I don't
I'ma
find you,
do-
if I'm not
I'ma-
sexually attracted to you,
you who I like to play video games with. Because I guess that's what you're doing with your cool, ugly person. You have a video game. I like to Netflix with you, but sex ain't really our thing. Like, I got a homeboy, we don't loan money. I don't care if he need $4. I'd be like, you know we don't do that. He be like, hey man, hey, you know it. Me and you don't do money. That's our relationship ain't like that. We had some problems before. We don't do that. We still homies. I'll come fight with you, but you can't borrow $5.
ridiculous, man.
And so sometimes that might just be like, look, man, like once they was doing that little 10-day time and they come around the wall and be like, look, I do love you. This is how I would have went on the show if I was on there. I would have came around the wall and be like, damn. Okay, look. I'm digging you, your soul, your spirit, beautiful. I love you. I feel like this could build on something. But you might need a vibrator in this relationship. Are you cool with that? And then she'd be like,
you stupid. You stupid. So
and we can rock that shit on
in
there.
conclusion of this
That's gonna have to be
episode,
real expectations, that's all.
what we've determined is that what I've determined is that I don't think love is blind. I think there's a lot of factors in actually building because they would lead into marriage.
We can be married, but you know I don't take you to movies.
No.
We watch Netflix.
Listen.
I go out with somebody
But
different.
when you talk about marriage, we're talking about is your credit right? How's your family?
No,
How's
they
your
just have a
family?
different kind of marriage. See, you don't have to there you go putting all these rules and boundaries. Them kind of people have already decided they don't want to live by normal standards. That's how they got on that show. So you can't automatically decide now we gonna try to throw all these boundaries. We two people that live in
There was a
outside
woman
of
that was
boundaries.
34. She connected with a 24-year-old.
My point being, those
And
are people who
it didn't
decided.
work out.
These are people who decided I tried the traditional way. I tried doing all the other shit. So this is what we trying to do. So they might say, fuck the credit, fuck what look like it's right. Let's
up.
just two people.
Be happy.
We love each other. Let's
Right.
be happy with
Right.
our credits fucked up.
Right.
Or not. And if them two people really stick by them standards, they can make it happen.
Straight up.
Okay, well,
Facts.
we appreciate y'all watching the episode. Tell us
It's all
what you
about
think
your
about
beliefs.
love being blind.
Love should be blind. Love should be
Hey, listen.
unconditional, man.
It is. That's what it is. Anyway, my name is
Everything else
Preach.
is fake. It's
I'm
just an
T-Dot.
agreement. I'm Mack O.